Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 2 of my section hike of the AT from Deep Gap to Rock Gap. If you haven't watched episode 1 yet, I urge you to pause this video, go down into the description, click on the link for episode 1, and you'll get the full story by watching that video first. Then you can pop on back over here and watch episode 2. If you've already seen episode 1, enjoy the rest of the story. I hope when you get done with this, you'll have enjoyed it enough to give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel so you can see everything that I've got coming out in the future. All right, so if you're headed northbound and you're leaving Carter Gap Shelter, you got to backtrack. If you need water in the morning, you got to backtrack a few hundred yards or 100 yards to the water source. A better option, and one that we decided to take today, given the fact that we saw so much water on the trail yesterday. There is a water source or two about a half-mile north of Carter Gap Shelter, and as you can see, it's maybe you can see it's running really nice today.
A lot of places.
Yeah, a lot of places here to grab water, but it's a nice little pour off up there. Cold, clear, clean water. It's about a half a mile north of Carter Gap Shelter. At least now, Veterans Day weekend 2017 running really well. There's supposedly another water source or two between here and Albert Mountain. We'll see. If I get a chance, I'll kind of give a little brief report on how they looked, or at least when I get up to Albert Mountain, I'll let you guys know. But so far, man, the water has been a complete 360 or 180 sorry, 180 from last year at the same time when water was a little harder to come by here on the southern AT. All right, well, we're going to sign out. Okay, so about 1.7 miles north of Carter Gap Shelter, there's this little tiny spur trail, just a short spur trail to a view. So we're going to see what it looks like. Don't expect any grand views today because of the fog, but we'll see what the possibilities are here.
This is looking already awesome.
So see, it says it looks already awesome before we get there. Nice place for a little break. Probably climb up here and see over those trees. Yeah, so that's the mountain view. There are obviously ridges and ranges out in the distance there, but we've got a pretty much foggy start. Not sure how well you can see this, but we've got ice, frost coming down. I'm not sure if that's coming out of the sky. At first I thought it was just coming out of the trees because of the sun. But it seems to get heavier.
Like, look. Look, it's like falling down my arm.
Pretty cool. No wonder I'm freezing my butt off right now. But yeah, you can see right out there.
Cool.
It's just coming down. Pretty neat. Well, let's keep moving. Warm up a little bit.
That's cool.
Just getting in here to Betty Creek Gap. It's 11:40. We're going to stop here, grab some lunch. This puts us, gosh, I think 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles from the summit of Albert Mountain. So that'll be the toughest part of the day. That'll be the last of the climbing for today, I believe. And we'll get up there, hopefully see some good views, and then cruise on in to the shelter this afternoon. All right, let's see what we got here. A little campsite. Betty Creek Gap Trail heads out that way. Not sure where it goes. Probably trailhead out there. Looks like maybe this is I don't know if this means that this is the northern end of the southern Nantahala, but that's what we've been hiking through here for the last couple days. Tent site here looks like there's some good opportunities. At least it was listed as camping, although I see this sign here. Yeah, so looks like there's some areas here where they want you to not camp because of restoration efforts. So we're not camping here anyway, so not a problem for us. But we are gonna toss the packs off here, find a place to sit down and eat some lunch. We'll check back in a little bit later.
Look at that.
How about that for a view, huh? We're about a mile below the summit of Albert Mountain, and there's a break in the trees here. Gut Hooks has it listed as a view, but that's just stunning.
At first, and right when we got to this view, I said that it looked like a painting.
Yeah.
Because look down there.
We still see some pretty good color on the trees. We've lost a lot of leaves so far, but another beautiful day of hiking today, man. It's been up and down all day. Nothing too extreme, and tons of water still on the trail to be had, so you don't have to carry very much water. We're about a mile below the summit, as I said, of Albert Mountain. So started out with no views today. We were completely socked in with fog, but now you can see though there's still a haze. We can just see for many miles. If you look over there in between those mountains, you can see the clouds off in the distance. It looks like there's some pretty low-lying clouds still way out that way. But right now, we're looking pretty doggone good.
Okay, so one thing I want to tell you guys is also, as you may know, Albert is very steep. And so when we've been going across here, it has some like really bad drop-offs. Like if you fell, it would hurt. Like we just saw one, and if you fell down, there would be no trees to stop you. Like look down there. Down there in the trees.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't see it with all these trees in the way, but it's bad down there.
Yeah. So trail along the side of Albert Mountain is pretty narrow, wet at times. So you just got to watch your footing. I think it's still a very good trail. Just a sharp drop off here. All right, guys. Well, we'll check in once we get up top. All right, so we're approaching the summit of Albert Mountain. We got 0.3 miles to go, and in a second here I'll show you exactly where we're headed. This last 0.2 is going to be super steep because we're going right there. I'm not sure if you can make that out through the trees. It's a fire tower right up there.
And also,
so we've been looking forward to that all day. We'll be able to get up there and take a good look around.
And also, we checked when we started. When there was like one more up, then down, then the steep part. When we were down here, I asked him, "Can you check how much longer do we have?" And then he said, like going up and down is like 0.4, but going up is only 0.2.
Yeah, so it's a short burst,
Crazy.
But it's going to be steep. And we'll check in when we get there. It's going to be awesome. So I just want to give you a idea of how steep this last 0.2 up Albert Mountain is going northbound. I'm looking straight ahead. This is eye level, and you might be able to see if I can position it here. Up
Look
on
at that blaze on that rock.
On that rock up there, you'll see the next blaze. So we're pretty much climbing straight up, but this is a really cool mountain, man. It's just been a great time all the way up Albert Mountain. Lots of cool things to see. We'll check in a few. All right, we're up on the power tower here. I'm not sure if how much you'll be able to hear from me. There is some wind up here, so hard to tell how much you're going to get of that. But the very top level is locked. But right at the summit of Albert Mountain, 5,213 feet, I believe. Not quite as high as Standing Indian. You can see out in that direction. Look at that low-lying clouds out there, man. It's just look at that. So you see the blanket of clouds over the ridges over there. Unbelievable view. All right, guys. So this is morning of Sunday the 12th. We stayed here at the Long Branch shelter last night. Got in kind of late, so we were in a real rush to get tent put up and cook dinner before it was completely dark. So we didn't really do any filming last night. But there were a few people here last night, not many. We stayed in the tent, and gosh, within an hour of getting into the tent to go to bed, it started raining. So it's still raining this morning. As you can see, it's really foggy out there, and just kind of a constant drizzle. Exactly how it's been all night. There was not a downpour, I don't believe, at any one point. But so we're packing up. We got everything in here into the shelter to knock it down in as dry a situation as possible. We're really fortunate today. We're only going about 3.5 miles, so not in any real rush to get out of here. We're going to go down to, gosh, I forget the name, a Rock Gap shelter or something like that. It's about 3.5, 4 miles. That'll leave us with about 3.5, 4 miles on Monday morning to get to Winding Stair Gap. So again, not in any real rush this morning. Just trying to pack everything up, stay as neat and dry as possible. You see, I've got the rain fly drying out a little bit here in the background. It's a nice shelter. There is a great, and I mean a great, water source on the trail on the way in, about midway on this trail on the way to the shelter. I guess it's about 0.1 or less from the AT to the shelter. The tent pads are down that hill right behind me. They are not exactly level, so just looking around, we're kind of situated on the side of this mountain on a slope, so not really any good place for a tent. We were on a slight slope, and that made it interesting all night, but we made it through comfortable enough. We've already eaten. We're just kind of getting packed up right now, as I said. We're gonna wait for a little break, see if the sun starts popping through at all. And if not, I guess here in the next 45 minutes or so, I guess either way we'll hit the trail. And then just try to stay as dry as possible. Get into Rock Gap Shelter, I believe is what it is. Get into there relatively early. All right, well, that's it for now. We will, depending on how much rain there is, we'll determine how much filming we do throughout the day. A, because there probably won't be much to see with all of this fog, and B, to try to save the camera from getting damaged. So we'll just kind of play that by ear, see how it goes. All right, guys, well, that's it. So we're coming to you here from the Long Branch Shelter. Cecilia just signed the logbook. We're going to keep packing up, and we will be on the trail here before too long. See you later. All right, well, we're ready to hit the trail. It looks like we're not going to get any dry weather to do that, so we're going to hit it in the rain. Cecilia's got a poncho, so that's why she didn't have a raincoat on yet. We're going to try to fit that over the pack. You see we got the pack covers.
This
pack
is my
covers
first
on.
time doing it because I've only had 2 trips and it's green.
That's right. This will be Cecilia's first rain hiking, and it doesn't help things that it's also kind of chilly, but we're going to do it. We only have about 3.5 miles to go, so I think we can handle it. We may just, if it stays like this, we're going to go straight into the shelter today. We won't even bother setting the tent up. But I'll tell you, just for some advice for those who haven't done a lot of hiking in the rain, while we do have pack covers, you cannot count on the pack covers to keep stuff dry. Rain.
So you want to make sure the stuff that you have, even in like safe places, but if it's out of your pack, you want to make sure you put that inside your pack so it stays even more safe.
So basically the system we use is inside of the pack we use a contractor bag as a liner, whether or not we're expecting rain, just as kind of a normal course of business. And so we just make sure on days like this, everything is in that contractor bag, sealed in pretty nicely. If it's raining, you gotta count on your pack getting wet, pack cover or not. Pack cover is going to slow things down. Pack cover will keep maybe some water out, but you gotta assume stuff is going to get wet in there, and so that contractor bag is going to help you out. Of course, the cell phone, which I use for the camera, will go into a Ziploc. There'll be less filming today. And so things like that, just some small adjustments, and hiking in the rain doesn't have to be completely miserable. So we'll check in when we get a chance, but for now we're going to head on out. See ya. What the trail's looking like today, this morning right out of camp. Kind of a stream running down the middle of the trail. Now this is the creek that runs into the water source back at the shelter. So this is normally wet here, but it's a little higher than probably usual. We're off. All right, so this is Rock Gap Shelter. Rock Gap is only a couple tenths of a mile from here. We were gonna sleep here last night. Sleep here tonight, then get picked up in the morning for a shuttle. So because of the rain and because we had to cut off hiking so early today, really didn't make any sense to stay here tonight. So we're headed down to the road now. We're gonna pick up our shuttle. It'll take us back to Deep Gap. Only a difference of a little bit of time, because we would have finished early in the morning anyway, with a very short hike to the road. So anyway, I'll probably check back in with you when we get to Deep Gap, just to round out this video. But man, it's been a great hike. Couple good summits over the last couple days. Cecilia's done a great job, and we'll check in one more time before we get in the car. Talk to you in a few.
All right, so we made it back to the car. I wanted to give a shout out here to, I'll post this down, give me a second. I'll post this down in the description down below, but we were sitting, as I mentioned to you in the last clip, we were sitting in the shuttle there within sight of the road, and couldn't see any use in spending the night there in the rain again tonight, just to walk out for a ride in the morning. So I called Ron, the shuttle driver up here, well known by a lot of people, Ron, who was going to give us a ride in the morning, and he was unavailable this afternoon. So he got a hold of Mike Shuttle Service, a great guy. He came right away, picked us up, gave us a ride to Deep Gap. Really appreciate that. So I'm going to post his information and Ron's information, for that matter, down in the description. Man, these shuttle drivers up here, just great people. We have been using the last couple times out Joyce and Sally. We love Joyce and Sally. They do a great job. They were out of town on a little vacation this weekend, so we're unavailable. But man, if it wasn't for these folks, doing a hike like we've been able to do would just be more difficult with kind of beginning and ending spots. So I wanted to give this shout out. His name's Mike Newton. Phone number is 828-371-8275, and again, I'll put that down. Probably put it up on the screen as well, but also put it down in the description. If you're up in this area, I think he said he runs anywhere from Springer to Clingman's Dome, so pretty wide area. And I think most of the others that I mentioned do similar distances. So there you go. Well, it was a great trip. What, 2.5 days?
Like 20 or 21 miles.
Yeah, Cecilia got her longest hikes in of the so far.
Highest point, more than higher than 5,000 feet. And when we were going up Albert Mountain, that was like the most fun part about the trip. Like, it was all rock, but still was real fun.
Yeah, so she had a great trip. A lot of first 5,000 footers. First time hiking in a rain, and a cold rain for that matter, this morning. So what a trooper, great hiking partner. And we'll be back out again soon. We'll see you guys. Look forward to getting this video up here in the next couple days. Our next hiking probably will be down in Florida. We're going to try to do a section or two over the winter on the Florida Trail. Maybe down in Ocala, maybe some spots up in the Panhandle. But this will probably be, I'm imagining, I don't know, we'll see. This may be our last trip up here on the AT until maybe February, March. We'll see how the weather goes this winter, but I think that's what's gonna happen. So as is our tradition, we're gonna head out now, make a beeline for Cheeseburger Bobby's and get that post-hike cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger time!
Oh, and I wanted to make one more point. So if you like this video, share this video in groups on Facebook and in your social media. Give it a like if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I urge you do subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to get some more stuff up here in the winter time. We've tried out a lot of new gear here in the last few trips, and we've got some reviews, some good stuff, some bad stuff, some things we may have changed, or some things we may change heading into the new year. So anyway, again, we'll see you guys. It's cheeseburger time, and until next time, thanks for watching.